This is Tony Schwartz speaking. Each medium conveys a message differently, or even a different message. To demonstrate this, listen now to the sounds paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 were printed from. Here is the sound of paragraph 1.
He would walk a mile to make peace with somebody, just like a uprising somewhere. He was always, if he got worried, he would always go and make peace for everybody, get everybody pleased on both sides. People would, at first, some of them would disagree, but in the end, he would win out. That's why I said if we had a president today, like Lincoln was, I don't think it would be all this excitement. I really don't.
My neighbor's 76-year-old houseworker. And now, comment number 2.
I'm inclined to do what I do, perhaps because of environmental conditions in the past, influences that I've been subjected to. It's probably a combination of necessity and inclination. I was associated with the Indians from early childhood, and I took up music in a formal manner in the classic tradition. And so I have the blending of the primitive and the very ultra-classical tradition. And I don't find the joining of the two to be incongruous at all.
This one was said by the blind street musician in New York, Moondog. And comment number 3.
I like to earn money, sort of. If anybody asks me to earn money, I accept it, because I like to get more money. When I'm very low on money and somebody asks me if somebody asks me to do a commercial, I really accept it because I like to get money. And I'm not so money crazy, but it's just the fun of doing a commercial that I like about it.
That was 4-year-old Jeffrey after recording a TV commercial. Here is a statement by Dr. Marshall McLuhan on the effect of the written word on speech.
There's a nice illustration of the effects of the written word on speech. In Eliot's Wasteland, the clue or cue comes from his use of the name Mrs. Equitone. When Eliot reads it, when he records it, he simply reads the line, "Tell dear Mrs. Equitone, I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful these days." You see, you mimic the effect of typography with the voice. Equitone. You see, even the voices on that tape are close to printing because of the equality. The amount of variation in rhythm and so on is slight compared to any, well, you take Joyce's opening of his recitation, well, you know, don't you ken it to have it, I told you, every telling has a tale, and that's the he and the she of it. Now, this is a non-literate speech. The brogues of the world, or dialects of the world, Negro or otherwise, are not affected by print. No leveling off of nuance and patterns. But that's why they can perform in the musical world so much more freely than the literate man. But this Mrs. Equitone is really a very useful bit because the whole British upper class mimic, with voice, they mimic the world of printing. This puts the lower classes way down because they still retain many of the characteristics of pre-print in their voices. So the class structure in England is quite simply simulating print with the voice.
Another interesting illustration of this. These 2 recordings of 2 fathers. Each has a child named Pat. Each talks of his child. One parent is literate and the other isn't.
He was a good kid. And I'd go to town and work in the morning, and he had a little dog named Jimmy. He'd take a walk them hills all day, him and that little dog all by themselves. Perfectly satisfied, wasn't worrying about anything. But he was pretty good. The one thing about it, I got a kick out of, see, I never made my bed, see. I'd come out there at night, I'd get in bed and a hornet would hit me, see, and I'd go sky high. He'd just laugh his head off, see. He'd get a kick out of that, see.
When she was a little girl, spending the first summer at camp, we found her one day in the arms of her swimming instructor, all the way out in the lake. She suddenly was thrown into the water without ever uttering a cry of dismay. One day I came home and found her in the company of her little girlfriend, Nora. They had been indulging in some pranks as some children are wont to do, and I reprimanded her slightly for it as she began to cry very, very profusely.
I'd like to end this record with one of the most beautiful musics in the world, a music hard to set and type, the music in speech. A mother talks to her son after the death of his grandfather, her father.
You'll never forget him. You'll find yourself thinking of him at odd times. You'll say something, you'll think something, and you'll think of Grant. You'll see. Because I do that with Cheryl, I do that about Bonnie and about my mother. And when I think of them, I feel grief, but they're not here. And it's a long time. So don't feel guilty because it's a normal, natural thing.